Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Makeup Fun with Olivia. Today we are going to talk about my Kindle. If you saw my May favorites, you saw that my Kindle is one of my favorites. And this coming from a self-proclaimed book snoot. I love the feel of a good book. I have always been a bookworm since I was little. I mean, in high school, I used to read books like crazy. I've always read a lot of books. And I love the feel of a book. I love going to the library. I love going to bookstores and thrift shops. Thrift shops, you guys. And my kids love it too, and so we enjoy doing it as a family. Well, now that we have been quarantined, for Mother's Day, I decided to ask for a Kindle. I know, I'm shocked. I'm shocked because I never would have thought that I would enjoy an e-reader as much as I'm enjoying it, and maybe I never would have tried it if it wasn't for this quarantine time that we're going through. So anyways, I am loving it. I wanted to share a little bit about it with you. I didn't know a whole lot about it. I've just heard people talk about it and the benefits of it, and I looked up some videos and I thought, you know what? Let me try it. Well, I'm really glad that I did because I've just been reading nonstop now. Okay, so what is a Kindle? For those of you who don't know, it is an e-reader. It is by Amazon. It's pretty small. You can get it in black or this nice blue. It's really thin. It's really light. You can hold it with one hand. My husband reads off of his iPad. The iPad is really heavy, not like this. So I really enjoy this. I was kind of surprised. I expected it to be bigger, and when I got it, I thought, oh, this is kind of small, and at first I thought that's kind of weird, but it's actually the size of like a small book, so it's perfect, and it's really light. It's so comfortable to carry, upstairs, downstairs, wherever I'm going to be reading. So yeah, I really like it. Let me add a little disclaimer. I do not know everything about Kindles. I am not like the most techie person in the whole wide world at all. My husband is the techie one. So what I'm going to share with you is what I know and what I've looked up. But other than that, maybe it's helpful for you to know that, because if you're not techie, you might be okay with this too. I didn't think I would be okay with it. Anyway, so when you go to Amazon, you get, there are different ones, first of all. And the one that I got is called Paper White. So it's black and white. It makes it look like a real black and white book. And so I'm trying to turn it on. It is very slow. Don't expect an iPhone. Don't expect an iPad. It is not super fast. It's slow. It loads, So I just turned it on, and then you have to swipe up. It does have ads. I think there's a way for you to get the ads and you pay a little bit extra. I didn't do that. I don't care. And it has like your home page and your book. Now normally, because I switched it, it goes straight to your book, so that's kind of what it looks like. You can make the print bigger, you can make it smaller, you can make it brighter, you can make it lighter, you can inverse it so that instead you have a black background and the words are in white. There's just so many options. You have a couple of options with the Paper White. I think you can get 8 gigs versus 32 gigs, and so of course you have more room to download your books, your ebooks. And from what I have read and seen on YouTube, because I looked up a lot of YouTube reviews, if you're going to be using the audio app with it, which you can do with a Kindle, then you probably want to get the more gigs, because audio books obviously take up more space. So, I ended up getting the 32 just because it was on sale. And like I said, I got it for Mother's Day. So I said, I'm gonna get the 32 gigs. I don't want to be limited. But you know what? After Mother's Day, I noticed the price went up. So the prices right now on Amazon for the 8 gig is $129. And the 32 gig is $159. They do allow you to pay it in payments though. For example, the $159, they allow you 5 monthly payments of $32 per month. I'm looking at my notes. I should bring them over here. Let me put on my glasses too. So yeah, you can pay it in payments, you know, if you can't pay the full amount, right? It has a built-in adjustable light. So one of the wonderful things about a Kindle is that it has this anti-glare. And so you can read it outside in sunlight, you can be outside indoors, you can be in a well-lit room, you can be in complete darkness. I have tested it while my husband is reading. I read my Kindle at night and it doesn't bother him because you can adjust the brightness, you know, and I kind of move it over here too because it's not like an iPhone where you have this glare. Like when he's on his iPhone and I fall asleep, you know, I'm trying to fall asleep, I'm kind of like, that's really bright. Well, this is not that bright. It has this adjustment. And let me see if I can show you. So you can adjust if you tap on the top and then you go to settings, it automatically brings this up and you can change. Now you can't tell too much right now because you're, you know, in the daylight. But at night or in complete darkness, this makes a big difference. And so it helps not to hurt your eyes too much. I was reading up on it, how the glare of an iPad, for example, really can hurt your eyes in the long run. You know, it's not good for them. And so reading on something like this is better for your eyes, which I really need at my age. I really need that right now. Let's see, so it does have the glare-free display, which allows you to read outside. You can be at the beach. You can't do that with your iPad. Even if you adjust the glare on an iPad, I've seen my husband try to do it when we sit outside, you can't with the glare. Well, with this one, you can. You can absolutely read it with no problem at all because it has that anti-glare, the glare-free display. Also, it is waterproof. At first I thought, why would I want a waterproof Kindle? But it is waterproof. And then after I started thinking about it, oh, that makes sense. You can take it to the beach. You can be in the backyard with your kids in like a mini pool and they can be splashing around. You don't have to worry about it. You can take it into a bath time for yourself where you're just having your cup of wine and you're reading. You don't have to worry that this falls in because it is waterproof. You know, there are limits to that. They don't recommend that you jump into the ocean 200 feet, but it is waterproof and it won't get messed up if, you know, it falls in because it is waterproof. So that's kind of a nice feature to have. You can get your Kindle with the Audible feature so that you can play it with Bluetooth. I believe mine has it, but honestly, I haven't tried it. I think you have to add an app to it. I haven't jumped into that. I think I'm going to be using it a lot more once, you know, the quarantine is over and we go back to quote unquote normal. Even on the weekend, and I want to, you know, read the book, quote unquote, you can connect it to your Bluetooth, to speakers, to headphones, and it knows right where you left off and it'll start the Audible feature and it'll continue reading. And then when you stop, it knows exactly where you stopped. So in the evening when I go to bed, if I want to continue reading, it knows exactly where the Audible stopped. So that's kind of a really cool feature too. I can see how that would come in handy if you commute. You can, you know, connect it to your Bluetooth to your car so that you can continue hearing if you can continue hearing your book. So you're still kind of reading your book, you know, because sometimes if you're a bookworm like me, sometimes you just can't wait and you want to hear it. And if you're in a 1 hour or 2 hour commute, why not, right? So that's kind of a really cool feature. This battery is supposed to be very long lasting. So depending on how much you read, it can, like one charge can last you weeks. I think I read somewhere that if you charge it, one charge, and if you read about 30 minutes per day, it'll last you like 2 months. I have like my sittings where I'll read for an hour or two and it still lasts me a couple of weeks and I don't have to charge it, which is really nice. And it doesn't take that long to charge. So, you know, it can last you for lots of weeks and for a couple of months with one charge, but it really depends on how much you read. And, you know, for me, it doesn't last me 2 months, but, you know, I don't have to charge it every single day or even every week. Which is really cool. One of my favorite features and one of the main reasons why I wanted to get this Kindle is because if you're a library, a lot of libraries are closed right now. you can check out ebooks from your library with a Kindle, and it will download the book into your Kindle, which is amazing. So even though my library is closed right now, they're still checking out ebooks. And I think that is an amazing feature because I don't have to go onto Amazon, or right now I can't go to thrift shops or to Barnes and Noble because they're closed. So what I do is I go onto the library website, I check out my book, or I put it on hold, and when it's ready, I get a notification and it downloads into my Kindle and I can read it. So I'm still checking out books from the library, which is pretty amazing. Also, in line with that, you can purchase your Kindle books from Amazon. When you buy your Kindle, by the way, I think you get 2 free books per month from Amazon. So you can also read, they have a ton. You have so many options to both buy from the Amazon store, obviously, but you also have a lot of choices from their free books. And you get a couple of them for free. I think they have a subscription service where you get unlimited Amazon Prime books and all of that. I forget how much that subscription is. It's not really expensive. And if you're the type of person who's buying a lot of books anyway, that might be totally worth it. So that's an option too. But I personally am kind of a cheapskate. I like my thrift shops, and since I don't have my thrift shops, I also love my library, and if it's free, it's for me. So I really like being able to check out books from the library with this. Another thing I like about this, let me say this, when I was little, I thought I was gonna be an English teacher or a history teacher because I love reading, because I love history, because I love all the rules of English grammar, vocabulary. I'm so into that. So one of the things I like about the Kindle is that when you are reading, if you don't know what a word means, you can tap on it. So let me show you. Okay, let's say you don't know what vampire is, and you press it. Let's see if it has a definition, and then you let it go. See that? It tells you what a vampire is. It's from I think it's the English Webster Dictionary or something like that. A corpse supposed in Europe folklore to leave its grave at night to drink the blood of the living by biting their necks with, you get the idea. So I love that it also helps to increase my vocabulary. When you don't know what something means, like, when I'm reading a regular book, I usually like to Google the definition, or way back when, because that's how old I am. I've always had a dictionary in my home, not anymore, obviously, because we can just Google them. But I find that this is really handy, because if I don't know what it is, then I just press on it. I don't have to pull out my phone and Google it. I just press on it and it tells me. I think that's really cool. Let's see. And the last thing that I kind of want to share with you is there is an app that works really well with Kindle. You can use this app without your Kindle, but it's called Goodreads. It's an app that you can download, and it has shelves, and you can add shelves to that of what you want to read. Like if somebody tells you about it, you can add that to your shelf. It's kind of like if you use the Yelp app and somebody tells you about a really good restaurant and you can bookmark it. That's kind of how this app works. It also, as it learns what you're reading, it makes suggestions to you. So my Goodreads app on my iPhone syncs up with the Goodreads on my Kindle. So Kindle can sync up with it. So if I'm out and about and somebody tells me about a book, then I just add it to my Goodreads, or I go look for it on Goodreads and look up like what this book is about. It gives me the option to link up to Amazon or to wherever to buy it, or it tells me if it's free, or so many options. The options are just there. And I really like that option because I use Goodreads a lot now. That's kind of my go-to now to go check out books on because I always have my phone with me. So I can just look it up and just add it there. So later on, when I'm done with the book, I can just click on the Goodreads here. What book did I want to read? And then just go look for it there, either purchase it through Amazon or connect to my library. So the app that we use for the library, I think it's called Libby. So I'm sure everybody has a different app that they use with their library, but our library uses Libby. And so Libby is, again, it's on my phone. I go and put a hold on it, or if it's available, I check it out. And at first I was like, how is it gonna know from my Libby? It downloads it to Amazon, and Kindle is through Amazon, then it's downloaded on here too. So when you click on it, it'll tell you loading, and it starts loading it, and then you can read it. It's just so convenient, you guys. So convenient. So these are just a few of the things that I'm really enjoying about my Kindle, and I wanted to share with you, you know, in case you've kind of been a book snoot like me and you're still stuck at home, maybe your library is closed too, or, you know, even if you're watching this like a year or two later, hopefully we're back to quote unquote normal. I'm really looking forward to seeing how many more ways I'm going to use this when I'm out and about. Some of you shared through the comments of my May favorite videos that if you're in line shopping, you pull out your Kindle, and that way you don't get impatient. I can see myself doing that when I'm out and about, busy on the weekends, or, you know, I don't know, I'm taking my daughter somewhere for school or something, and sometimes you're just waiting, right? And nowadays, it's not like before. I love chatting with people, but people don't chat anymore. So this way, I can pull out my book and just start reading it. So yeah, there's so many ways to use this, and I love that it's light. I love that it's light because it doesn't, like, after you've been holding it for a while, you know, I can see how it can, if you're holding on to something heavy, I can see how it starts hurting your wrists, and not this. This hasn't been an issue for me, or sometimes when I'm in bed, I just prop it up and it doesn't fall because it's really light. It's just so convenient. And there also, of course, if you're already a Kindle junkie, you know that there are covers you know, that you can buy on Etsy or online, and you can just, you know, I think even Vera Bradley has Kindle covers. I mean, Kindle covers are like a big thing. I just ordered one through Etsy. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And that way, you know, I've heard people have dropped these and it slammed against, like it slid down their floor and it slammed against the wall, and it was fine. I'm not gonna test it. It hasn't happened to me. I hope it doesn't happen to me, but if it does, that little like Kindle pocket is on its way from Etsy, so I'm gonna have it in that, so if it falls. But yeah, it's pretty sturdy though. I mean, even though it's thin, it is pretty sturdy, and it's kind of plasticky, but you know, so it doesn't look fancy, but I kind of like that it's not fancy. I don't want it to be this fancy thing. I really like it. I like that I can kind of, you know, hit it and it's okay. So yeah. So anyway, do you have a Kindle? I would love to know. Share in the comments down below. I think there are other types of e-readers. Do you have a favorite e-reader? What are they? Please share with me. I would love to know, and all of us, you know, if somebody else is interested in maybe purchasing a Kindle, but if they see your comment down below, they might think, oh, maybe I'll look into those. So there are other e-readers that might have other benefits that I don't even know about. For now, I'm good with my Kindle, but if you have any that you love, please share down below. Or if you have a book, I would love for you, especially if it has vampires and magic and all that stuff that I love, please put it down below and let me know, because I want to read it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I hope you are well. Bye.